Hello, welcome to Scott's Odyssey. Today I'm going to a location that's been hidden for nearly 100 years and only became open to the public on paper as of 2010 and not openly announced until 2011. And most people still believe that it's in a Correctional Institute restricted area. We have a short hike, so let's get going to General Philip Benner's resting place named Benner Cemetery. See you in a minute. Welcome back. If you've watched my videos before, thank you for your patronage. And if you're new to Scott's Odyssey, welcome aboard. Please give a click on that like and don't forget to click the subscribe for more Odyssey stories of who we once were. Make sure you jump out to my Patreon or the Odyssey merchandise store in order to help keep this channel going. If you own a company, I am open to video sponsorship. So, this location was cut off from all public access in 1912 when Pennsylvania initiated the planning and building of the Rockview State Correctional Institute. Rockview SCI was originally designated to become an agrarian rehabilitation penitentiary that would teach work and life skills to reforming convicts and was built in order to replace the Eastern State Penitentiary and the Western Penitentiary. What ended up happening was that Rockview not only became a branch of the Western Penitentiary, but it was the very first location in Pennsylvania that enacted death by electrocution. The benefits of, sorry, I'm laughing because the wind. Sorry about the wind. It is very windy out today. If it gets too bad, I'll do a voiceover segment. The benefits of the penitentiary in this location. The benefits of this penitentiary in this location were that it was far from the public eye. It created a place where if you escaped, you had nowhere to run, because at that time it was 100 miles of barren Rocky Mountain terrain, and if you were not caught in a day, you would probably succumb to the elements, or as what had usually happened, you'd return back to the prison on your own accord. So from 1912 up until 2010, this cemetery was the property of Rockview State Correctional Institute. 98 years of no access. Even though it was released in 2010, the site is not exactly in the open nor readily viewable from anywhere nor advertised or heavily trafficked. You can actually go a mile in any direction from this site, and the only thing that you're going to run into is an elevated controlled access highway, State Game Lands 333, 334, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission Benner Spring State Fish Hatchery, which is currently closed to the public due to the beer virus, and the Penn State University Park Airport. Now, although the name of the cemetery is the Benner Cemetery, it's important to know that the Benners are not the only family here, and most certainly are not the oldest family here, which according to the dates, the oldest is the Kepharts, with Robert Kephart being interred here in 1814. But for this video, we will go into why the name of this cemetery is granted to the Benners.
Born to General Henry Edward Benner, an active Whig to the American Revolution, and general who actually became a prisoner and has his own interesting story regarding his wife bringing him bread and giving it to him through the bars of his prison window while he was incarcerated in Philadelphia, Philip Benner was born in 1762 and lived in East Vincent Township, the German area of Chester County, Pennsylvania. Between the ages of 15 and 17, shortly after his father's incarceration, Philip Benner joined in the War of Independence under his relative, General Wayne. His accomplishments in the Revolution seemed to be unaccounted for, or at least lost to time. Upon returning from the war, Philip Benner went to work for the second forge ever built in Pennsylvania, called the Coventry Forge, which was built in 1717 by Samuel Nutt. In 1784, Colonel Patton and Colonel Samuel Miles, both of Philadelphia, both men with interest in the iron industry and with significant capital, had new news of pure iron veins being found near Center County. Technically, they were found in what is called Mifflin County, but that later became Center County. The veins were near the first ever white settlement of the county, which was established by Andrew Boggs in 1769 at the former territorial homestead of Chief Bald Eagle, and in May of 1792 put in blast the center furnace. At this time, Philip Benner had recently married Ruth Roberts and had also heard of this higher grade iron deposit in the Bald Eagle Valley. So in 1793, he purchased land in Upper Bald Eagle Township with the intent of starting his own iron forge. Although historical signs and plaques state that he was an accomplished ironmaster, historical recounts dictate that Philip Benner, in his early years, was actually a small-time ironmaster working low-grade deposits in Chester County. In 1795, Benner built his own forge next to a Quaker settlement called Rock, but was better known as Lamb's Crossing. The name of the forge became the Rock Ironworks. At this time, based on his war experience, Philip Benner received the field commissioned rank of Major General of the local militia, which is where his title of general starts. Benner purchased pig iron from the center furnace and worked it at the Rock Ironworks. Benner expanded his business to include a slitting mill and a grist mill. Now, we've talked about grist mills and a handful of other kinds of mills like rolling mills and saw mills, but slitting mill, that's a new one for us. A slitting mill is a mill similar to a rolling mill that added the ability to actually slit a bar of iron into 4 rods of iron that would later get turned into nails. When Benner's first haul of iron was delivered to the Philadelphia iron merchants, it was declared to be the highest quality iron ever seen. It would seem all things were going really well for Benner, and in 1800, Center County was established. The outcome of the change from Mifflin County to Center County was that a legal dispute over land ownership erupted in 1802 that lasted until 1811, with Benner actually losing the battle and put into a position where he had to repurchase all of his land from Center County. Fortunately, this did not even slow Benner down a little. The moment the land dispute was settled, Benner significantly expanded his plant to include 2 furnaces and 2 forges. Iron production boomed, and he went into iron trade agreements with Pittsburgh and all of the western counties in Pennsylvania. Benner became somewhat of a civics mogul in the area. He contributed in the construction of the Bellefonte Waterworks, the building of several homes that he used as rental properties, one of which is currently the home of the Bellefonte Art Museum of Center County. He opened several stores in both Bellefonte and Ferguson Township, and aided the Center and Kishaquillas Turnpike Company in the construction of their turnpike that went right by his plant. As a side note, although this cemetery is at the end of Shiloh Road, the only interconnect with Shiloh Road is the local highway on-ramp and the old turnpike aptly named Benner Pike. Unlike most of the other ironworks, Benner successfully sold his iron to both Philadelphia and to Pittsburgh, being one of the highest paid producers for the quality of his iron, officially garnering the title of a true iron master. Benner did very well as an iron master and a businessman, although there is one story where he spent $50,000 to finance the building of a steamboat in Pittsburgh that was loaded with iron, and it was supposed to sell the iron and bring back a large shipment of tobacco. But instead, the person who was commissioned to do the work sold the boat and the iron and then took off to Europe with all of the money, never to be seen again.
General Philip Benner died rich and successful on July 27, 1832 at the age of 70, just 5 years after his wife, leaving their 8 children behind with the family fortune and business. In 1853, the local area was formally incorporated into Benner Township, the man who established the first iron forge in the Rock area along the banks of the Spring Creek. I hope you enjoyed learning about this little hidden cemetery bearing the name and honoring the late General Philip Benner. If you haven't already, remember to click like on this video and to subscribe for more ODDySEEy stories of who we once were. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.